Okay, so let's say you've settled on your idea and you're going to create your little microbit that detects whether the window is open, hence there's ventilation in the room. Okay, so, and let's say you've done all your brainstorming and you've got your Kanban set up using whatever way you want to do it. I personally, I think you should just go with big sheet on your wall, A3, A4, whatever, and loads of post-its in the different columns. Take a picture every day and see where they're moving. Okay, that's where I would think this is going. Okay, and you've got an overarching agile style project development plan in place. And basically what you're thinking of doing is this. You're thinking of doing one iteration where you get it working. Okay, simple enough as that. Okay, you're going to start and you're going to go right through to the finish. Okay, and you're going to get it to a place where it detects. Okay, so at the end point, it's going to detect that it opens, the window is open. Okay, and now you're thinking to yourself, well, listen, you know, what's my next cycle? Okay, my next cycle is window open. Okay, so window open, but what do I need to do next apart from window open? I need to tell someone that the window is open. Who am I telling? The end user, the principal, the controller, whoever. Okay, so that's your second cycle. How am I going to design this? Well, what am I going to need? I'm going to need some type of communications. Well, what do we know? We know microbit allows for radio, Bluetooth communication from one microbit to another. Okay, we know that. Now remember, you don't have to make this work for 20 microbits. You only need to show that one microbit, which could represent lots of other microbits, can talk to one central server microbit. Okay, now in order to get to the honors, we need to get this into Python, Pyth, Python or JavaScript. We've already given you a course on Python. Okay, we already know how to read microbit. Okay, we did that before Christmas, how to read a microbit in from through a Python onto your page and to actually read it to a CSV file. So we know how to do all that. Okay, so now the case is, well, what do you want to do next? Okay, so we need to be able to do a feedback loop. We need to change this into two directions. We need an analysis, okay, and then we need some type of feedback to the person in the room. Okay, so the analysis could just take the place of creating a large CSV file, and then a separate Python program reads that CSV file and tells you how often the windows in room 24 are open. Okay, it could be as simple and or as complicated as that, depending on which way you want to look at it. A feedback could be as simple as telling the person in the room that a window isn't open. Now, I would think, well, of course, maybe a teacher doesn't realize the window isn't open or it isn't open enough. Okay, so it could just be a case of a light, an LED light, and that could be your third iteration. Remember, our first iteration, get it detecting an open window. Second iteration could be it detects an open window and a light appears on the microbits telling you green for open or red for not open. A third iteration of this could be window open, light on, takes the temperature. Okay, a fourth iteration of this could be, you know, window open, light on to tell you the window is open, takes the temperature and tells the heating system to turn on. Okay, now you think to yourself, oh God, how am I going to get to tell the heating system to go on? Okay, it's actually quite simple. Okay, use an IFFT, loop. Most smart heating systems you can control very simply with a little message that's just sent via a little piece of JavaScript. So that's what you could do. But that's far off, that's down the chain. That could be your third or fourth iteration. You mightn't get to that, but that doesn't mean you can't write about it as your future developments. Of course not, and that's pure gold. Okay, so there you'd have an all-encompassing thing. Okay, so what would be the next stage? Let's say we've decided on this. We need to make the microbit move. Okay, so then this is where we come into our algorithms, our pseudocode. Okay, so let's deconstruct or decompose, remember, decompose this problem into smaller bits. Okay, problem number one, microbit, how does it know something is open? Okay, so again, you'll be writing about this. So how would you know something is open? We're going to use two strips of paper or metal. We said these will be connected in a circuit to the microbit. Okay. So when the microbit detects that the things are touching, it's closed. Okay. So let's do it in plain English. We need an input, which is going to be an electrical signal. Okay, so we're going to input an electrical signal, and we're going to detect it. Okay, what are we going to do? We're going to send a signal, and at the same time, we're going to light a light. Okay, so sending a signal, where is that going to go to? It's going to go to another program. Okay, so this program is going to receive. Okay, and it's going to update a database, and it's going to light a light. Okay, so this is the idea of it. Okay, so there is some very crude pseudocode. We have a whole video on how to do this properly in pseudocode. And once you've done that, we're going to do our proper flow diagram. Remember, with our rectangular blocks and with our process blocks and with our if statements and with our terminals and start and end and all that. We're going to do that. Okay, that'll be a whole other section. Okay, of algorithmic thinking, decomposition, abstraction, pattern recognition. Okay, algorithmic thinking, the whole shebang. There's marks on the page for doing this computational thinking. Okay, so you're thinking to yourself, oh, this is too much. Remember, Kanban. You break it down into small things. To do, done, in progress, final, backlog. You break everything down into small. You can have multiple things in different areas of the Kanban. So if you're just doing this bit, the input electrical signal, let's say you're just doing that bit, the top bit there, the input, the electrical signal. Okay, you could have in the backlog everything else, and in the to do today, I'm going to create a code that reads if an electrical circuit is complete. Okay, in progress, what could you have? In progress, I've got my tinfoil, I've got my wires, I've got my microbit. Okay, and then what's done? Nothing. And you come back a day later and you've managed to get it work and you moved everything across the Kanban into the done list. Okay, and then you start a new Kanban for detect it. Then you start a new Kanban. You have multiple Kanbans. You don't have to have one Kanban for everything. You have multiple Kanbans for multiple streams of your project, and they're all at different stages. That's why I would say up on a big corner of your wall, a couple of bits of blue tack, a couple of A3 or A4 sheets, lined Post-its everywhere, and keep taking pictures. And those pictures go into your file, go into giving you those marks when you write up about them. Okay, and you will find that any corrector would be mightily impressed if you're able to talk about Kanban, agile methodologies of software development. That is like serious cutting edge ability to understand that, and that's what they kind of want. Okay, so that's what I would be saying, and that as you make your way down through it, you'll find less and less things going towards the end, and finally you've got everything right, and that's the whole point of it. Okay, so I encourage you to do that. Okay, I would definitely encourage you to kind of do that. Okay, but what I would say is that you need to be very conscious of not getting overwhelmed with this. There's a lot of things to take in. You are not, in your 10th year at Microsoft or IBM or Xerox or at Google or wherever as a software engineer on 250 grand a year. You're not meant to be. but you are meant to have an appreciation of even just the basics of what you're trying to do. But the key to all this is, and it really is, it's not letting a day go by without making a note of what's happened, taking a picture, taking a video, doing a blog, taking a quick TikTok or whatever the hell you kids are into nowadays, just what you've done that day. Because when you come to write this up and you're sitting in front of a blank document, HTML document, trying to write all this from memory, if you have nothing to go on, it'll be a very short document and it will not be rich enough for someone to work the way through it and give you those marks. Okay, so hopefully by the time we're getting to the end stages of this to building it, we'll all be in a room together and you will have that, you will have that concentrated effort from everyone and you'll see everyone else doing their work and you will be able to see a way through this. Okay, but until that time comes, getting these basic things done at the start, the stuff that you can actually get done at home, will very much help. Okay, so thank you very much. Bye.